Hello and welcome to Arts and Crafts with Steve McDonald. New videos every Sunday and sometimes midweek. Today I'm going to be doing a mixed media picture with alcohol inks and resin. So I've got my piece of MDF that I've covered in foil. My previous video will show you how to do that. I'll put the link above. And now I'm going over it with yellow, purple, some grey and some orange here. I'm going in with my heat gun and moving this about, and it's drying it as well because I don't want this to blend in too much at this stage. And what I love about this is when you've mixed your alcohol inks with alcohol in a bottle and you go over the foil, you really can see, because it's quite translucent, you really can see the difference with the texture underneath. I've just popped a bit of gold on it. I'm just going to move that around a little bit. And now I'm going to be trying a technique that I've seen quite a lot of people use. Now I have made sure I'm safe. So I've set the alcohol ink alight and it's burning off the excess alcohol, as you can see there. Now, I'm not really sure what that technique does other than dries it off completely. It probably does set it as well. Other than that, I really can't see. So if anybody has got a real clear reason why we use that, I know it's fun. It certainly was. And a little bit scary. But if anyone's got a reason why you would do that, please let me know in the comments. I'd be really grateful. Now, this part I can understand because I've just put some diluted gold on there and I'm going to set that alight again. That flame looks beautiful, but again, please be safe. Safety is more important than your picture. I don't want to be responsible for people burning themselves or their houses burning down. So do that at your own risk. So what I found is now that where I've put that gold, it has kind of set that into place, but it's also took that real sharp edge off the gold and made it quite a nice colour. So I've just sealed my picture before I go in for resin. Now there is a link above and shows you how, if you're in the UK, you can seal your pictures when you can't get hold of Karma varnish. And now I'm going over it with the resin. I mixed up about 125 mils of resin here, and I'm just spreading that out with my silicone brush to ensure as even as possible coat of the varnish of the resin, sorry. But I'm not that worried about it being completely even because I have got further plans for this picture. And so it will have another coat of resin on top of it, and that will even it out. However, I do like how this has come out, and if you wanted to do something like this and just have a picture like this, then I would suggest you mix up a bit more resin and take a bit more care over it to ensure that there are no areas that haven't quite got covered or no areas where there are little divots. But the reason I put a first coat on is because I actually want to give it a bit of depth when the next stage of this picture is finished. So as you can see, I'm just making sure that it's evenly spaced. I'm heating it up a bit because then it will flow. I will put the information of all the materials that I've used in the description below, so please take a look at that. And all the links as well where I got the stuff from. There we go. Although I do seem to be missing, there is a patch there on the right hand bottom corner as you're looking at the screen that has been missed with resin. But again, like I said, that really doesn't matter. So I'm making sure my edges are well and truly covered. Now underneath this board I have taped it off as well with masking tape, so that when the picture is dry I can just pull the masking tape off and I'm not going to have any drops or hard bits of resin underneath the picture. So I'm just removing any excess bubbles that might be in it with that torch and just checking over it again one more time. So that's about done. So now I'm going to make some flowers. I'm using purple because I've used purple in the previous picture. And this is Pinata's purple. I'm just waiting for that to dry off a little bit to allow me to make the flowers. And you'll see where I'm going to be making the flowers in a minute. So I'm just dropping a bit of blending solution down and using my airbrush to pump those out and push them out a little bit. Now, I'm not too worried about how the edges of this piece of Yupo take the colour, and you'll see in a minute why. So that's the flower nearly completed. So I'm just going to check that I'm okay with that and I'm happy with how that is turned out. And then I'm going to add the centre to the flower using my new Copic markers. And I love these for producing dots. They're great. They really do produce some great dots. So I'm going in with a bit of black. And dotting that all over to the shape of the middle of the flower that I want. And now I'm going to go over it in between the gaps with a bit of white to give it some light and some interest. And then I'm going to go in there with a bit of yellow as well, just to break it up, make it look like it's got some pollen in it. So I hope there's nobody here with hay fever, because pollen is terrible for hay fever. There are no bees about either at the moment. So there we go. I made 8 of those and I cut them out, which you'll have seen in one of my other previous videos, turned them slightly 3D, and now I've stuck them onto the picture with a little tiny bit of glue, and now I'm going over with quite a lot more resin to even that out. Again, using my silicone brush. I really like this silicone brush. Any resin left on the brush at the end just peels off it, and you can use it over and over again. So there we go. Now I'm being a lot more careful with this and ensuring that it's evenly covered. Again, I'm going down the sides. The tape is still on the back of this, so it's not going to affect the bottom of the picture. I'm just heating it up to give it a good even coverage to allow it to flow a little bit better. And there we go. And some of those petals now will have lifted, and I'm going to leave those because when you put it on the wall, you'll be able to see that that movement, that texture, and the depth for the pictures. Okay, I'm just checking it over again. I'm just making sure that there's resin in everywhere that I need to have resin. I just needed a little bit more, and you know I don't like waste, and it was clear resin that had dropped onto my silicone mat, so I knew that it hadn't been contaminated. I'm just checking that all the sides are done. I'm just pushing down petals where I need them to be pushed down, and to try and ensure that they're well and truly covered with the resin. Okay, just getting rid of all those bubbles, killing those bubbles off so they're not there. And there we go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you like this. Please subscribe, like, and share as much as you can. Bye.